Okay, so now we plugged the entire thing in. So far it's working. There was some small problems that I had to reboot the Cubase. Eventually, if you plug in any new hardware, you're probably better to reboot the software which you're using with. So manufacturer provide us with QMix software, which is basically software control for a mixer that built inside of the interface. It designed in a quite interesting way that I can say, like many of digital soundboards, pretty much confusing unless you really figure out what is that for. So there is like 3 sections. There is inputs. You can select create different mixes, and there is outputs. So each input has a separate control which turns on a pad that like minus 20 decibel, has phantom power, turning it on and off. Then changes the mode of the balance knob. This one is disabled because it's turned in the mono mode, but it could be changed to stereo, and they will change a little bit. Then operation of turn back, and the auxiliary reverb send. We will return to reverb a little later. So second tab is EQ. Has really serious EQ, what I would say. So basically, it shows you, first of all, shows you entire display how your curve will be created. Then it shows all the frequency characteristic of what signal comes in. Now I'm talking into it. I already plugged the gear in, plugged the microphone into Markov Unicore interface and recording through this. So what do we have right now? Incoming signal you can hear actually through the converters which used in this unit. So here we can select what can we see on the spectrum analyzer. First of all is FFT. Then we can show that with a spectrogram, which shows the color representation of all the frequencies through the spectrum. I will shut it off for now because that would be easier for us to see what goes on with Equalizer. Equalizer creates, as manufacturer claims, it's a British style equalizer which has 5 channels of parametrics and high pass and low pass filters. You can adjust them in different ways. You can drag them with the mouse, or you can actually change them over here. This is a fully parametric, which absolutely amazing how that works, because the slope is changing, Q is changing, and frequency is really basically variable, and you can do whatever you want. So first of all, you have to turn on the band, which here we have. It shows us the low pass, so we can increase our lows, add gain, and you can hear the difference, and you can see how that changed and shows entire thing on the display. Then we can readjust by clicking here. We can adjust the slope. Now it's basically like work like a filter. There is several modes, and you can adjust it manually. So, but basically this is not the lows. We'll shut it off. We can work with a high pass filter. This is how the cut works, and that's where it shows this change of the slope. 6 decibels per octave, 12 decibels, 18, 24, 30, and whooping 36. You cannot see that on any analog gear. Pretty much the same what does the high pass filter with the same modes, with adjusting the frequency and changing the slope. You can hear how that works, and it's really comfortable feature. The rest of the frequencies, basically, you have 5 additional filters which you can configure in any way you want to. which is really comfortable. And I'm gonna try to keep it like it is. And for now, all of them is off, and I think the sound is pretty much okay. So let's switch to dynamics. Compressor works in quite interesting way. So here it is, I turn it on. So when I adjust the threshold, it actually adds the level. So we can hear how it gradually it adjusts, and it's going really hot. The trim, which supposedly have to be able to go all the way down, goes all the way up. I can add it, and it's going to be nuts. So it has two modes, which switches the audio signal based on RMS or on just on peaks. So far, you can hear exactly how that works. The one good part about this that compressor itself is not cutting too much highs as many analog processors, and it works precisely. And sometimes you can get any response that you want. It could be soft, it could be harsh. So I will add a little bit over here. Another part of this, it's a leveler, which actually works as a compressor or as a hard limiter. So far, what you hear, now I added, and this is pretty much the sound. For just for comparison, I will shut them off, both. Now you can hear clear sound without using the effect processor, without using the compressor, and now with this. So just for comparison, again, I will add the ratio and adjust the threshold, so you would be able to hear how this affect the sound. I like the sound. It's a little bit pumped up, but just for the sake of that, so you would be able to hear the difference. I will shut it off, and we're going to meters. Meters pretty much showing how it goes for the output, which outputs are enabled at the time. Shows them basically you can see every single activity in several different options and several different ways. So pretty versatile. I cannot tell much more. You will be, if you will buy that, you will play around with it and you figure out